collecting records is a joy for me. So there's not been a lot of joy this year. So not negative, but it's just been on a negative, for all of us, like I said. But I gotta get back into swinging things.
Well, you know what? Like, yeah, no, I hear you, obviously, and everybody, but Chesty Malone, we tried to keep busy this whole time. Like, I'm not actually trying to even plug us. I'm just talking, but we recorded a bunch of covers that are on our Bandcamp and whatever, and then we're recording a new album, and we did some of the whatever live stream shit just to keep doing stuff.
Yeah, because you go fucking crazy if you're just sitting in your house all fucking 20 minutes. Yeah.
Tell me about. I mean, I thought I was a bad drinker before. Not, that's not just to be funny, but all of a sudden I'm like, they cut off.
Like, is it too early to have a drink? What time is too early?
I work midnights anyway, so my schedule's screwy, so I didn't notice any really difference, but I was finding myself, I never bought bottles of liquor from our house. Yeah, beer, of course, but never bottles of liquor. I was buying like bottles of liquor, and my buddies were coming over, like, yo, I just bought this bottle of James. It's gone. Oh, not good.
That happens. Yeah.
And how does that happen? There must have been, leprechaun.
I don't know. Faulty bottles must have been a hole in the bottom. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, so anyway, I'm going to switch gears because this is how my brain works.
Oh, wait. Tell Rob hi, man.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
Definitely. Actually, I guess you went into Misfits like as soon as we got there in New Jersey, but we were hanging out outside for a minute. Rob was doing a video shoot with these dudes that he works with, the same people where we recorded the record with him, and he was like interviewing people outside of the show. Yeah. So we did an interview, but I don't think it ever came out. But he was like interviewing, oh, how do you feel about this? Blah blah blah. And like,
wow, yeah, I missed that, man. Yeah. We pulled up, man. How many people do we know right there? It was,
I know. The second we got out of the car, it's like, oh.
I kind of like went from person to person to like,
that was so fucking cool. And then, but that's why, so that's why MSG. Okay, so like I said, we were on the floor in New Jersey, and we pushed ourselves past all the pussies down there, and we were on the barrier. And then, but so for MSG. We weren't even planning to go. We went to go to Danzig. The Veronica movie premiere was the night before MSG, right? And we're kind of friends with Maurice from Danzig's sort of team. Hi, Maurice. And Maurice was like, "Hey, Anthony, whatever." And I was like, "Hey, man." And he's like, "Oh, I guess I'll see you tomorrow at MSG." And I was like, "No, not really. We don't have tickets." And he was like, "Oh, well, you need tickets because here you go." Oh, okay.
Wow.
So we went.
Gotta. That kind of stuff.
And then that was like, we were hanging out. We watched The Damned, and then I don't know how you feel. I'm not trying to hate, but we didn't watch Rancid. So we were just hanging out in the hallway. And that's where it was like punk rock high school reunion.
Yeah, like
everybody we knew. People buying us $18 beers and shit.
Yeah.
But that made it even cooler because that's the way Jersey was, man. I knew just everybody who was our friends were there.
Totally. That's what made it totally more fun. It's like, oh, we're all here enjoying the same fucking thing.
Right. And then speaking of that Rob Daly interview thing, he asked, how do you feel about this? And I was like, this is like the biggest hardcore show ever. There's 30,000 people at a hardcore show.
Amazing.
I was, I'm easily pleased. And I was just like, what really bothers me is that there's these people that just sit there and they want to rip it apart and tear it down. And
totally.
It's always why, and I was like, that was the best fucking thing I've seen like forever.
I'm like, why did you go? If you hated every fucking second of being there, why did you go? What is your problem?
But then they sit there and tear it down. It's like,
what? I don't understand that.
I just can't. I just don't. I can't.
Right.
That's all I can say. I can't. I just can't.
I can't even.
Oh, man.
Come on, man. What?
It's have fun. Like Jimmy Gestapo says, just have fun.
Fucking right.
Christ, we got to have fun.
Anyone remember fun and laughter?
No.
I mean,
it's a whole generation of this sucks. Well, no,
but it's our generation though. Mostly, it's our fucking generation.
It's mind blowing, dude. I was so happy. I was like, what? I want to go. I want this to happen again tomorrow. Like,
I know, totally.
Why aren't there more shows like this every day? Like, I remember I actually unfriended a bunch of my and got in arguments with like old friends of mine that were like hating, like just when I posted that we were going, like, oh fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, and I'd be like, I was trying to be like, whatever, if you don't want to go, that's cool. But no, they're like, no, but fuck that, it's stupid. Like, okay, it's stupid.
Justifying, I think.
Got me. You're right. I'll have a terrible time.
Justifying being lazy.
Yeah.
And you guys who I know you guys feel this way. I've dreamt about that my whole life, seeing that, and it was just amazing.
Yeah.
Never, you guys. I know you guys feel the same way. Never thought I'd see it. Never thought I'd see it.
No way.
I was into the Misfits when they existed. Unlike a lot of people, I didn't get into the Misfits via Metallica, but I never saw them. So, and I did see Sam Hain, like I said, but I never saw the real Misfits. So yeah, I never thought it would happen.
It was one of those things, man. Like even like when John and Harley got back together for like a second there, nobody thought
those shows. A couple of them.
I love Alpha Omega. I mean, at least you had 3 original members out of 5.
Like rapping on that though. That's like
I know, but I really, people have the argument. Well, I'm like, dude, you can't make 5 Age of Quarrels. There'd be only one Age of Quarrels. Those guys are way too talented to make the same record over and over again. So yeah. I give Alpha Omega, I let it slide. You got John, you got Harley, and you got Doug, and Paris, wrote the music, so it's about as close.
Doug's secret finger in the band pick on the back.
Yeah. And always, the armband are on the right. If you know why.
And Harley actually told me he's wearing that Palestinian scarf because it was a Jewish guy that owned the label. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? Only Harley really knows that. Yeah. We all right away were, going over that record when it came out, like with a magnifying glass. All of us who were fans.
But, I agree with everything, obviously, you said, and I like, obviously, bands, flexing their creative muscles and changing. I love Black Flag, for instance, and SSD.
Yeah.
But if they were kind of stupid, because if they would have come back at that point, it was like 1993 or something, and made
90,
hard fucking.
It was 90, 91.
Yeah, okay, and it was early 90s. But if they would have come back and made like a fucking hardcore, like hard album,
you can always say "what if," and you can, woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Right.
Take that record, and I'm like, all right. But I even like Revenge, so whatever. What do I know?
Well, they ripped off Metallica and Iron Maiden and shit. Weird, like directly ripped off riffs. It's weird.
Yeah, dude.
But you know what? I gotta say, Harley's voice is awesome. When Art, like the Revenge album and his current stuff, his voice is awesome.
Yeah, it got better.
I liked Revenge, where he's kind of doing more like pop punk stuff, man. I like his voice better on that stuff.
Yeah.
Straight up hardcore. The dude can sing.
Yeah. They actually ripped off some Misfits riffs on those.
We could. But I mean, that record they did at Normandy too. So, and it's just, the sound is great. The production is great. So
Paris is obviously an awesome guitar player.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
You can obviously, I'm not the first one to say this, but Paris and Harley is pretty much the essence of the cro-mags.
Well, yeah, they wrote the whole first record. I mean, that's the demo. They wrote the demo, and then that was cool. It was just total straight up angst.
Yeah.
That's what made them, man. That band, I fucking love that band.
Yeah.
Never get sick of listening to them. Just one of those, like AF.
Yeah. Were you at, so speaking of what we were talking about initially, I was at they did like 2 nights at CB's in like 2000 or 2001, whatever the fuck it was.
AF?
No, cro-mags, where it was Rocky George instead of Paris. And
I was out
on drums.
If not both.
What's that?
I was definitely at one of them, if not both.
I was at the one, I think it was the first night of 2. That was pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, the place was mobbed. It was off the hook. I've been to a lot there where it was just like, wow, am I really here experiencing this? You know, I mean, you know, the glory days had gone, but once in a while, man, there'd be a show. It was packed, and it was all our friends, and
Totally.
you know, I CBs as a kid, you know, you kind of had this little, you know, I want to say a little bit of fear in you from the club's reputation. But as we got older and being in there all the time, and Murderers Row played there all the time, with, you know, so either by Harley or Milo when he used to book the shows. So I got to be just second nature being there. Felt like, you know, it was my home away from home. You know, it was really.
Yeah, I remember going there.
I still appreciate it. Like, I'd walk in, man, we'd be carrying our equipment in, and I would still stand there, look around.
Oh yeah,
totally, fucking magical.
Like, wow.
I remember going there when there was still that gas station there, and it was kind of
great
fucking sketchy.
on the corner.
Yeah,
On the corner, the giant dumpster out front, and the bum hotel next door. Hell yeah! Oh my god,
bums yelling out the
bum.
window.
They're bum either in the dumpster or under it.
Right.
Or one peeing on the dumpster.
Right. And I think about it now, it's pretty funny. Like I said, I started going there when I was like 14, and like my parents would just be like, "All right, cool, see you later." Because they didn't even announce that it was all ages, but they didn't card anybody. And then like somebody got injured, and eventually they were like 16 and up.
Yeah.
And I was still 15, and I was like, "Oh shit!" But nobody ever carded me. You know?
I mean, you know, when it was like 90, 91, 92, when, you know, it was getting crazy with fights. Remember them banning mayonnaise totally.
Yeah.
You know?
Actually, I just saw somebody you know who it was? It was Brendan from SFA just posted about that. The first show back when he convinced Hilly, because, you know, Brendan worked there, to let hardcore matinees happen again. And the flyer says, like, no weapons, no fights, you know.
Like, you know, it was walking into the Thunderdome.
Totally.
Oh, those the window. All right, guys, head to your pockets. You know,
Chesty Malone got to play on not in the main stage, but downstairs right before they closed in 06.
Yep.
So that we were happy about that. But
I love that place, man. I definitely missed it. I've not been back in there. Have you guys gone in there?
I won't even look at the fucking place when we're going by in a cab or something.
Depressing.
Fuck that.
Gross.
Yeah, it hurts, right? It hurts
it really does.
your heart. Like,
We played at Bowery Electric in the end of 2018.
Yeah.
So it's right down there, but I'm not even, no way.
Yeah,
the
no.
whole fucking area when I was, you know, baby punk, that was like my area, and fucking it's completely unrecognizable now. Like, you wouldn't know there was ever anything cool there at all at any point in time.
Mark? Oh, even St. Mark's.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, St. Mark's is fucking.
St. Mark's is worse.
It's a fucking mall. Yeah.
Oh,
terrible.
Oh.
It's really
Coney
sad.
like offices now or some shit.
Yeah. It's
What
fucking Chinese yogurt and fucking karaoke bars. It's fucking.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's weird.
Bo McCabe's is still there though, right? I'm pretty sure.
So,
yeah.
I always go there and try to have a beer, man, just because that's one of the places that's still there, you know.
St. Mark's Hotel is still there.
Yeah. Before the Rona, we were supposed to play at Tompkins, and we were like, we usually stay with friends when we go back from our secret location to New York, and fucking we were going to stay at the St. Mark's Hotel, and I was like, oh, that'll actually be really fucking fun, and then the Rona happened. So
but it was actually still pretty cheap compared to other hotels in Manhattan.
Really?
The like suite for 2 nights was like $150 or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Wow.
The suite. I don't know what that means, but
I was there when I think Coney Island was still there. It was just about H2O filmed their video like in the basement of that place next door, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there that day. I'm not sure. I remember Toby being, you want to be in the video? But there were so many people. Like I just stood in the back. I was like, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not running up there and getting punched in the back of the head and my ruined, you know, in my head.
Sounds great. Yeah.
You know what? I actually never went to Coney Island High. I lived in California for most of the '90s, so I actually never went.
Well, my other band Stigmata played there once. We played the Marauder album Master Killer release party.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool. But
cool, yeah.
there was a lot of cool shows there in the '90s. You know, I mean, you had you know, kind of like a little bit of resurgence in New York hardcore because you get Scar, H2O, Marauder, Madball were getting bigger. You know, it was kind of a resurgence. But that club was great, man, because any given time you could walk in and see Lemmy or, you know, a couple hanging out. Yeah, just hanging, just drinking at the bar.
Actually, one of the first fake Misfits or reunited Misfits shows was there too, right? There's a video of that.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, well, the first time I saw the Misfits back was at Action Park in Jersey.
Oh, nice! I remember that show. Yeah. I wasn't there, but I remember that. Yeah.
You know, it was cool, man. I was like, you know, I was happy. You know, people don't realize, man. You know, we got to see Doyle and Jerry and
it was great.
Michael Graves, like, you know, it was all right. I don't hate, you know, that first new record. I think it's pretty good.
No, I don't either. I don't think it should have been called the Misfits, but I don't hate it. Yeah.
I saw them in '98.
Good argument.
October of '98 with Graves. That you know, original fake Misfits.
The original fake Misfits.
And it was great. Yeah, Doyle and Jerry, and it was awesome. And then like Graves came out in a straitjacket, pulled by a chain and by the Crimson Ghost. It was great.
So why Graves? This one because I kind of missed. What's all the craziness going around him nowadays? Is that all fake news? Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's the same shit.
You know what? I'm not.
Is that real? Or should we not talk about that? I missed. I don't know what's going on.
I guess Michael Graves kind of. Well, my theory is he sold his rights to the songs for like 6 figures that he had the rights to, and then he did. This is not a theory. He actually came out and said, "I am a proud boy, Western chauvinist." That's on his Instagram. So
that's just. Isn't that bizarre?
It's bizarre, but then again, it's not that bizarre, and I don't understand why everyone was like, wow, that's so surprising. Like, he was on the Alex Jones show, like, a bunch of times and stuff, and it's like, so you were okay with that, and that was like, whatevs, he's wacky Michael, but all of a sudden you're like, whoa, we're drawing the line on you actually referring to yourself.
And I know...
I don't care.
I've been a long time, and here's my take on it, and just my opinion, like, dude, like, you have a little bit of a career going because you did what you did with the Misfits. Why kill that?
Because he just sold it for 6 figures.
Well,
so
that's what I'm saying. There was
he can say whatever he wants now.
I don't know 100% for sure, but I think I am right. This is a fact. There was an auction to buy somebody's rights to whatever fake Misfits songs.
I saw that,
and it went for 6 figures. So, and then right after that is when he came out.
All, fuck all of you.
Just wow. I mean, I seen him. He played in Troy at this place called The Hangar, and you know, it was just him playing acoustic. And I went. I thought he sounded great. And
he opened for him at Trash Bar in Brooklyn one time.
He was a douche. I mean, like I said, I like that first fake.
He was pretty douchey when we played.
He was a douche. He came up to us and he was like,
I didn't go near him. I didn't say hi.
He came up to us and was like, I was told I should listen to your band and blah, blah, and I'm literally looking forward to seeing you and blah, blah.
We had already played.
Okay, cool. And then he complained about the condition of the stage after we played, and I was like, fuck you.
We had like some beers, and I think we had some fake blood that night. Whatever, we do that.
Well, you know, from what we're all hearing, we ain't got to worry about it anymore.
It doesn't really matter.
Career suicide.
Right.
You know.
Thanks for nothing, Michael.
I don't know. To me, it's whatever. I don't give a fuck anyway. But people are pretty bent out of shape.
Yeah.
I was asking because I kind of missed it all, and I'm just hearing the feedback and the fallout. You know, I just didn't know.
My favorite part of the whole Michael Graves fiasco is that all these people that were posting about, I don't even like Glenn Misfits, I like Michael Graves Misfits, are now like, oh, fucking kill Michael Graves. I never liked that shit. I'm like, I saw you.
It's the same
I saw you post that.
People are such bullshit artists, man.
Everyone's full of shit.
It's the same people going, They used to say, oh, OG Misfits, I want to see Michael Graves.
I'd rather see Michael Graves Misfits.
Yeah, it's the old sit behind the keyboard with your, sword and shield dude,
Right.
the keyboard warrior bullshit,
Right.
So
Right.
stupid. Yeah.
So easy to do that.
Yeah.
So I just remembered something we were talking about 10,000 hours ago. I saw Leeway open for the Bad Brains in '89 at City Gardens. Did you see that
Nice.
tour?
Nice.
Were you at
Now,
that tour anywhere?
no, I never got to go to City Gardens.
Oh, okay. But I mean, it was a whole tour. It wasn't just a one-off show.
That and the Anthrax. I never got to go to the Anthrax.
I never went to the Anthrax, but
I
City
my
Gardens.
band booked there. We were cranial abuse, and I would send them tapes. Obviously, it was just like any other club. It was who you knew and not what you knew. It was
Right.
But being a 14-year-old kid, and we're just a hardcore band. We didn't have a fucking manager.
Yeah.
Christ, we still don't. So sending tapes just wasn't fucking working.
Randy now, he was all denied.
Right. No, but early, I mean, we were still called Cranial Abuse when we opened up for them, and the record wasn't even out yet. It was it was recorded, but it took by the time the record came out, they had lost their drummer already. They lost Tony.
Yeah.
Not long after that, they lost Zowie, who quit and joined Circus of Pop.
Yeah. I like that band.
I'm still listening to that first record, man. And when they came here locally, we went and seen them, and Zowie remembered us. We're a little younger than those guys, and Zowie was really cool to us. It was like, yeah, come on in, guys, here, and like handed us beers and fucking, Zowie, real cool. And I mean, Alex Mitchell was in Crucial Truth, right? I mean, that's
from Florida.
And so, they came from the hardcore scene,
I saw them at the Disco Ritz at Studio 54.
Wow.
89 or 90, and it was actually like, it was cool. They were good, but it was like half full. Like they weren't loved that much.
They didn't take off like I think the record company hoped. I mean, each record got progressively less better than the others. But
But yeah, good man. I'm friends with Alex Mitchell on Facebook.
Yeah, no. Yeah, me too. And I'm not talking shit. I just that we have mutual friends with them, and you hear all the stories, and you're like, oh damn, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Things behind the scenes going on, and
Right.
shit happens.
There's a hilarious clip. It's on YouTube on the Morton Downey Jr. show.
Yeah.
Where Circus of Power and Cycle Sluts and Ace Frehley is on there too.
Yeah, that's classic.
I was gonna say that they had their own kind of little their little scene, like it was like a sludgy motorcycle underground New York.
Yeah.
The
Lismar Lounge.
Yeah, it was cool, and I'm lucky that I got to catch them twice, and that it was both times up here at Saratoga Winters. But one time was with Faith No More and Trouble, I think.
Oh, I never saw Trouble. I love their stuff.
I got to see them once. It was because I always loved Trouble. If there was an American Sabbath, it's Trouble.
Well, you're forgetting about St. Vitus, but
yeah, I'm not away from Wino at all. I know Wino.
I saw St. Vitus open for Black Flag in '85 in Catasauqua, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, because the punk rock kids had love for Wino, man, right? I mean, I know he wasn't
Wino, the original guy, whatever. I can't remember his name for some reason.
Yeah, because Wino's obsessed. I believe he was the Obsessed before.
I saw the Obsessed with the Meatmen and Why Die in Philadelphia in '84, summer of '84.
Wow,
that was a good show, and like it was hilarious because summer of '84, you're talking still height of like punk rock, hardcore.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Obsessed come out, and Wino's got eyeliner and long hair and bangs and leather vests.
He was the one metalhead dude, but he was part of the DC scene. So the kids, right?
Yeah.
So that's just Wino.
I think it was probably because at that point, Tesco from the Meatmen was living in DC. So I think that's probably how that ended up happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny, man. Yeah, because I have all those old books where the people reminisce and tell stories. I was always how that came about. I mean, because my first show was DIY hardcore was Suicidal in '85.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
And then I got to see Black Flag. It was Painted Willie gone and Black Flag.
I saw that tour. Black Flag was not at their heights of power, let's say.
No, it was definitely the end.
Yeah.
Kier was even gone when I seen him.
Yeah.
Kier was on bass.
It was that dude, Sal, with the long hair.
Yep, and Jim Stevens wasn't even on drums, I don't think. It was some other dude, too.
No, it was
really
Anthony something.
It really was the last.
Yeah.
Black, that was it, yeah. Rollins was really weird, of course, you know. Painted Willie and Gone at least Gone is Greg Ginn's other band, you know.
I'm a Gibb fan, so I actually like seeing Gone. But
I didn't. Yeah, it was interesting, but as Gone played, you know, and it was all like stoner instrumental stuff. You know, Henry Rollins in these like tight leather shorts, dancing like a go-go on the side of the stage. Me and my buddy were, wow,
cool.
And we went over and we're like, well, we weren't cool. We were just like, oh, we like your band. He just looked at us like, how dare you talk to me?
I remember he was a fucking dickhead that tour because, okay, so check it out. So prior to that tour, I had seen Black Flag like 6 times in New York at the Reggae Lounge, in Philly at the Long March, in DC at the 930 Club. And Rollins was always cool. Me and my brother were big Black Flag fans, and Rollins would actually be hanging out outside of the clubs. We'd get there early, and he'd be hanging, and he was totally cool to us. Like, Rollins turned my brother and me onto the Stooges. Like, he was like, you got to buy the Stooges albums. And so we did the next day when we got home. You know what I mean? Like, and he was totally cool. And then that tour, he was like a fucking asshole. Like, all the other times, he'd be like, hey, remember? Oh, yeah, I remember you. Yeah. That tour, he was like, whatever, fuck you. Who are you?
It's probably what was going on in the band, you know.
Yeah.
None of them were getting along. And I think him and Greg each other, so.
Yeah. Well, you know, the funny story, at least according to Henry, is that Greg actually announced to Henry that Greg was quitting Black Flag, his band. I'm quitting Black Flag. He's like, oh.
My band.
That's crazy. And a funny thing I remember about that show is, like I said, Henry just wearing these tight leather shorts, and it was SUNY Albany, so I mean, it was packed. You know, there was probably I'd say 300, 400 kids or more. I'm just saying it was a lot of people. Because obviously people came from far and wide to see it. So he jumped into the crowd. And I just remember there's like a commotion. And he jumps back up on stage. He's like, yo, man, that dude's trying to take my shorts off. What the fuck? He was like really freaked out, man. It wasn't like Mr. Tough, I'm an animal. Yo, man.
Drew a line. Cross the line.
He was totally freaked out. Well, me in the back room dying laughing at you, you asshole, you know. Even though you stick to us, we still were like, yeah, Black Flag.
Yeah.
Hurts and everything.
There's a series of pictures, I don't know what city it was, where a girl actually yanked his shorts down. And you can see his balls and stuff like.
Well, obviously he kept wearing those shorts, so he wasn't too scared.
I saw the Rollins band a couple of times, and they were actually really good.
I see them once.
I didn't like their records, but another band I never liked was Jane's Addiction. But I saw Rollins band open for Jane's Addiction like 1990.
Yeah.
And Rollins was great. And then I saw him headline the Whiskey in L.A. with L7 opening in '91. It was good. It was really good, but you know.
He was on the Lollapalooza tour, so that's probably how I came about. So
I never went to those. Did you go to those?
The first two, and I Ice Cube. Otherwise, wouldn't have because I never got WA. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'll tell you what. I mean, I've seen LL, Run DMC, Eric.
Public Enemy with Murphy's Law and the Beastie Boys at the Spectrum.
Yep. They played RPI Fieldhouse up here with that. And I saw that. We were like, what is, like, Public Enemy open up for Murphy's Law. We were like, what is this? Because Flav was just like, you'd never seen nothing like that, man. This dude.
It was before the Public Enemy first record even came out.
Because we didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that same coin, when Public Enemy left the stage, there were black people running for cover because Murphy's Law came out with Jimmy throwing beer and spraying beer everywhere. As we said, what is this, the Public Enemy? They were like, what the fuck is this? Because kids started flying through the air and beer cans are flying. Yeah, it was just nuts, man. And then the Beastie Boys come stumbling out one by one.
Beer cans flying through the air.
12-foot penis on stage.
Yeah. They had the penis fights on it. And then they disavow all that shit now, though. You saw that special they did?
Yeah, I thought that was stupid.
We're sorry, dude.
Yes.
Sorry for our entire career, everybody. Love us though. It's so stupid.
I mean, I remember, and it's on YouTube, and like Joe Bruno and Jimmy Gestapo on stage when they played that like MTV New Year's Eve one time.
Yeah.
What a drunken, awesome mess that was, right on air on TV. They're falling over each other. It's fucking great.
Right. And then they're like, "Oh, we want to apologize for that stuff."
Sorry, we had fun, everybody.
Yeah.
So fun to laugh.
Sorry for your whole career with beer and penises, and
hardcore.
The reason why everybody loved you guys, and then you're like, sorry about that.
That's why we loved this.
We accepted you after that for a while, but yeah, that's why we loved you.
Right. I'm sorry we grew up. Dude, that's what happens. You can't
right.
Or you just got to.
But which one of them said it? Adam Yauch said, no, not Adam Yauch. What am I talking about? That's on to you.
Mike, probably. Mike's the one more.
Just kidding.
He was like, I'd rather be a hypocrite than still be stupid or something like that.
Yeah, they're way beyond just saying sorry. They're just like, oh my God, like bending over and kneeling saying sorry.
I don't understand.
It was a different time,
Right.
Losing my battery.
Right. Oh, okay.
The whole
you don't have to apologize. It was a different fucking time. But you have to, I guess, if you want to still be considered cool.
Yeah,
I guess not cool. I don't want to be cool if that's what I got.
I don't want to be cool either. Do you remember when Murderers Row played with Chesty Malone in
Is that weird? You guys?
No, whatever.
All right.
It's sideways. It looks punk.
Yeah.
Am I sideways?
You're sideways.
You're sideways.
Because it plugs in the bottom.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
It's fine.
So Murderers Row played with Chesty Malone.
I remember.
Saratoga at a billiards place. Remember that place?
Yep.
What the fuck was the name of it?
Yep, I remember. Actually,
tagging the bathroom.
What?
Yeah, actually, it's still but it's called something else. It was Backstreet Billiards.
Yeah, that's what it was. Backstreet Billiards. It was a gay pool hall.
They've been doing shows there since like 1990. I mean,
okay. Well, I got yelled at. I remember. So I went in the bathroom, and before we played, and I tagged the Chesty Malone tag with a Sharpie, and I was hanging out with you and a couple other people at one of the pool tables, and this little fucking asshole, I guess from the club, comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, did you tag your band in the bathroom?" And I was like, thinking in my head, I remember this vividly. I was like, I could be like, "No, I didn't. What are you gonna do?" But I go, "Yeah, I did." And he goes, "Well, that's not okay. We don't allow that." And I go, "Okay, whatever." And he's like, "Well, I'm going to let you play still." I said, "Let us play." I actually go, "Don't then. Don't let us play then. I don't care. Don't let us play. Kick us out." And he's like, No.
I'll let you.
You guys can play. I'm sorry I fucking tagged my band in a fucking shithole billiards club.
Right. It's so bizarre. Why even bring it up to you if he's like did anything
right,
anyway.
Exactly. He just wanted to thought he was just gonna give you shit or whatever. Like I was like, yeah, that was me. Like what would it if I was like, no, it wasn't. Yeah. Well, okay, but I actually got this from you guys at that show at the billiards.
That's pretty vinyl, though.
The vinyl's awesome. You got the
the beer colored vinyl.
Pretty, beer colored. I like that.
Yeah. That's why we did that. I wanted to have stickers and stuff, but we always do things half-assed. I love Cruisers, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Got to see them a bunch of times, And Al was just always a nice guy. He gave me a couple of those crazy records. He knew I collect records, and he gave me a couple really rare Bruiser records. Like,
nice.
They did a cover of Iron Cross single, and it was just only a few made. He gave me a copy of that, and then when he played Albany, he gave me 7-inch picture disc, and I think it was only 500 made. But as he's handing it to me, like the rest of the guys in the band are just like mean mugging me. They're like shaking their heads because they didn't. They're like, you know why they're making those faces, Riley? Because they don't have this. Here you go. Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of stuff like that, a lot of people don't realize that Crucified is not an agnostic front song.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, hold on. I'll have to do this since you said that.
Uh-oh, now you're getting normal again. All right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
And the 7-inch is there.
That's
And
awesome.
Yeah. Oh, shit, that's the Skinhead Glory 7-inch. Huh?
There you go. Signed by Sad.
Nice.
He was like, he goes, dude, I'm not signing this. It's going to wreck it. I go, look, man, I have a mint copy in the drawer. This one's all messed up. Sign it because it's getting framed. He just rolled his eyes.
Back then, hardcore and punk people were like, sign records. What the fuck?
I know. I'm like that. I don't care. And even though you're my people, because they think I'm nuts. Like, dude, you're my friend. Like, why? I go, I know. It's just my thing. You know, like Paul Bear and Jimmy. What do you mean? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Love it. I don't care. It's, you know, I love doing it. You know?
Well, yeah. It's by the way, I saw that Danzig sign there too. By the way,
That's
next
cool.
to us. Yeah.
Surrounded by stuff too, really.
But like for instance, like I actually never did ask him, but Chris O.P. Moore played drums on our last album.
Nice.
Approach.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I want him to sign that record, but I can't ask. I never did.
Oh, bro, you should have.
I have John Brennan's sig on it actually, but I just couldn't ask Chris.
Hey, Chris.
You should have, man. Cause I have, you know, like Marauder used to come to town and stay in my house, but I'd always make them sign everything. Like,
yeah, well, that's how I got the John
Brandon. With you, bro. Like you're our friend. I'm like, no, sign this.
My Brandon sig.
So, now you know Saab has passed away. I
know
all his, you know, and you know they even signed one for my dad. You know, and
oh, cool.
Cool, yeah. So I mean, it's in my collection, but it was to my dad, so which was really cool.
That's awesome, yeah.
But then I had Minus sign it too. Minus is like, I'm not even on this. Why do you want me to sign it? You're a pain in the ass, you know. Like, so he refused to sign the front, so he signed the back of it. So I come back.
That's pretty funny.
Good,
but we played out in Baltimore, man, and we stayed at this place. It was down the road from the club, so the Sidebar.
Yeah.
And, we stayed down the road, and I remember Nick. I had a room with Leo, and Nick got a room with his girl.
Two rooms.
With his girl.
You guys are big time.
Well, this place was cheap enough, right? And once I explained, you're like, and Nick and his girlfriend walked in their room, and I remember her just coming out screaming, "Oh, there's a turd in the toilet!" and then like Walter and his girl, they had a knock on the door, and some girl standing there with works in her hand, you know, actually nice. Can I use your bathroom? No, you can't use our bathroom. Get out of here.
Oh, no, yeah, come on and shoot up. It's okay.
She wanted to shoot up in the bathroom. No, that's the place. That's the joint we stayed. You know, me and Leo were like, dude, I'm not even getting under these covers, you know. Yeah. Slept on top of it, you know, on the cover of the bed.
Yeah, well, that's what in Albany, we didn't do that either. Yeah. We didn't plan ahead too much to bring our own shit, but I was like, I slept on top of the fucking comforter, and eventually I actually slept in the car because our bass player actually kept farting.
Yeah.
The whole fucking room stank like shit.
One was snoring and one was
and so I actually went out. Tom Murphy.
But you guys have stayed enough sleazy joints, you know, no getting under the covers.
Yeah, no way.
You
Tom
barely
Murphy
want to take the shoes off. Right?
Yeah. There's pubes everywhere. Yeah. Tom Murphy from EGH, Everybody Gets Hurt, was our drummer at the time. And I think he was snoring and our bass player was farting.
I think the bass player was doing both.
Yeah, actually,
and Tom was sharing a bed with him.
Yeah.
Well, everybody fights who's going to have to share a room with me because I snore and I'm just out cold. It doesn't matter, you know.
So I failed and I was sleeping in the car, and then Tom eventually came. I was actually never really slept like half Tom came down and fucking banged the fucking window, and I was like, I smashed my fucking knee into the dashboard. I was like, cool, thanks, buddy. Yeah. Thanks, pal. That's awesome.
All right.
Did you tell him it's my birthday at midnight?
I told him, oh yeah, midnight. I said tomorrow.
Happy birthday at midnight.
Oh, it's your birthday.
Hey,
happy birthday. That's awesome.
24, 23. Okay, I'm sorry. It's a 24.
Yo, my parents never knew how old I was or what grade I was in either.
Yep.
I'm lucky I know where I am.
Gets back to normal. We got to play some shows.
We absolutely. Absolutely. Not just one, a bunch, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I was
yeah.
excited when you were talking about it before Corona.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So thank you again, guys, and stay in touch, please. Stay safe.
Yeah. I'll have this up in a couple days.
Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good one, brother.
You too. Off to work I go.
All right.